Okay, a lot of my friends have been asking me about, well, I don't really want to play music. I just kind of want to sit and play an instrument, or piano in this case. But can you learn how to play the piano without really learning about music, about counting and all of that? And my answer probably years ago would have been, heck no, because I learned the old-fashioned way with the teacher and the book 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 and the different levels. But after I got out of college and started working in the music industry, I realized that I really kind of cut myself off from the fun of playing the piano without any music. And it was a struggle for me, but we'll talk about that in this next lesson. It's how to play the piano in 10 minutes. Okay, we have 10 minutes for me to teach you how to play some songs. My book, Playing Music with No Music, is my little 17-page book on how to play by ear. You can sit down and play the piano. The thing that we have to do is take away the fear factor. When you look at all these keys and you go, oh my gosh, what do I do with all these notes and all these keys, and there's so much to know. But there really isn't if you just relax and just putz, I call it putzing, putz around with it. And on page 7 in my book is songs to play by ear. Simple 3-chord songs. So this lesson I'm going to teach you how to play the melodies in 10 minutes. And the next lesson I'm going to teach you how to play 3 chords in 10 minutes. So in 20 minutes total, you'll be able to sit down and play not just the piano, but you should be able to play, you know, once you learn the guitar or a trumpet, or once you learn the fingering, you can apply this to anything. It's just the intervals or the distance between the notes. Okay, so let's start. And we're going to talk totally about piano. Look at the piano and you see you have 2 black keys, 3 black keys, 2 black keys, all up and down the piano. And it's very, very organized. Find 2 black keys. The note to the left is C. That's kind of like A is to the alphabet in if you're writing. C is the place that you start, okay? And this is called middle C. Middle C is because it's in the middle. It's right practically in the middle of the piano. So put your thumb on C, and then it's C, D, E, F, and G. All right, now you literally could play hundreds of songs with just these 5 notes. Bach did it. It could have been actually Beethoven did it. He wrote the whole song, Ode to Joy, with 5 notes. Okay? So if you look at my book on page 7, there's all kinds of songs, titles that you can use to play by ear. So if you go C, D, E, F, G, then it starts over at A. A, B, C. That's it. All right, so I'm thinking of a song. Let's think of Happy Birthday. All right, I'm going to start on, you can start on any note, but I'm going to start on G. All right, and I'm going to sing Happy Birthday. And I used to say to my class, how far is it from happy to birth? And my class would say 9 months. Oh, get it? All right, so it's Happy Birthday to, and then 1 higher. Big skip. Skip down, next to, jump up. Now, you're not going to do that the first time. So what you're going to do is probably this. Wrong. But don't panic. Most of the ear players I know, they play most of their notes wrong, and then the fun is in fixing them. See, I just made an improvisation of Happy Birthday. So the key is, don't panic and don't go, oh my gosh, I made a mistake, and start over. Just putz around And actually, you'll probably never play it that way again, but that's okay. That's the cool part of playing by ear. You're probably never going to play it the same way twice. And that's the beauty of being an improvisationalist. Okay? So let's say I want to play, St. Louis Blues. All right, so let's say I mess it up. See? So I don't panic. I just go, okay, the note's wrong, fix it. And the idea is you're never more than one note away from the right note. So if you play the wrong note, then you just move one note to the left or to the right, and you'll normally almost always fix it. Okay? So this week, in our 10-minute lesson, I want you can look at page 7. I'll put it up as a PDF with a list here. But hymns work really good. They're probably the easiest things to play with the chords and picking out the melody. So let's say I want to play Amazing Grace. And most of the time, and in my play-by-ear book, it prints all this out for you. The first note of the song is going to be a G. Okay? So let's do Amazing Grace. Now, I'm supposed to skip, but let's say I go too far. See, that's called a little trill. Now, if you get really screwed up, you just walk around. See, I just took the long way. I was going from an E to a C, and instead of going the long way, I just walked around. I could even go too far and come back. So see, that's what I didn't learn when I was taking lessons. My teacher never taught me to be brave and to not worry about playing so perfect. When you take private lessons from an old school piano teacher, it's like, all right, you're going to practice this song till you got it perfect. I wish she would have said, you got to play this song until it just makes you happy. And with that, you become this inventive, creative musician. So this 10-minute lesson, take the time to just sit and pick things out. If I play When the Saints Go Marching In. Those are called little grace notes. So you just go. So in the back of my book, there's a whole section on what you can do to embellish. It's called embellishments. You can add glissandos. You can do, hard to do on a piano, take all the skin off your finger. But little grace notes, they're called ta-das, or little trills, or chromatic glissandos. That's just walk up to the note until your ear goes, yeah, that's the right one. And if you go too far, come back down. And how do you know if it's right? If it sounds right to you. All right? Everybody's going to have a different opinion of how the song should go. But the most interesting people to listen to are the ones that hear the song and then add their own little creative touches. It's like cooking. You know, you can just use the recipe book and do it exactly, precisely the way the recipe book says. Or as you get more creative with cooking, you can add your own touches and your own spices and your own different little things that you can do to make the recipe more interesting. So try it this week. Get your book out that you have notes in, and if you don't want to play by ear, just read the notes in a book that you already have and try adding some embellishments. I think you're going to find it's going to just open you up to a whole new world of fun with your music. I hope you're enjoying the YouTube lessons that we've been putting up for a few years now. We thank you. We have a lot of subscribers, which really kind of blows me away when I think about how many people all over the world are wanting to just sit down and play the piano. So, and there's a lot of different ways to present piano lessons on YouTube. I choose to teach the way I wish I would have learned. So I wrote a bunch of books over the years for my class. The first one is the one that we just did today, Playing Music with No Music. It's 17 pages of how to play by ear. And it's just a simple how to play in the key of C, almost any song you can think of. So I'm kind of proud of this little book. It didn't take very long to do it, but it's full of ideas for just winging it with your music and being able to sit down and play with no music. I also did a series with my class years ago on the circle of chords. And I've always seen circle of chords in the books, but I went to a workshop, gosh, it was probably 20 years ago now, and they reversed the circle. Instead of going the G to the right, they just turned it around, and all of a sudden this light bulb came on, and I get it. So if you're going to be an ear player and you want to know how to play by ear and where the chords go and how they work, this is awesome. That circle is kind of the key to everything. The circle and the scales, if you know them, then you can pretty much do anything with music that you want to do. I also did an advanced book. It's called Playing with an Attitude Without Much Aptitude. So it's kind of a extension of playing by ear. There's all kinds of hints in here and things that you can do. How to recognize a chord if you're playing for church and you have a hymnal and there's no chords written in it. Then the chords, it'll tell you how to figure out what chord goes with that note. It talks about playing with an attitude. It's playing with chords around the circle, blues progressions, all kinds of fun things that you can use, that I use for my advanced classes. Also, if you don't know chords, boy, I'll tell you, that was quite a challenge for me when I got out of college. I didn't really know chords. And to sit down, I knew triads, and I knew enough about theory that the chords came pretty easy for me. But if you've never done it, you buy a book that has this huge amount of chord charts with the picture of the piano with the little spots on it. It's really overwhelming to try and learn to play chords. So I wrote a book, a first aid chord kit. It's a quick, easy way to learn chords. You're never going to need a chord chart, ever, when you finish this book. Okay, so it goes all the way up to 9th and 11th chords. And I think you're going to find that after a few weeks with this, you're going to be able to figure out any chord, major, minor, diminished, 9th, 11th, without having a chord chart, which is very helpful. Also, I wrote another book that has this comes with the DVDs that we did to accompany it for the class. So this book and the DVDs, you should get everything you need to know to play chords. This book I wrote because in teaching, I noticed that you got to buy like 6 different books to get everything you need to know to play the piano. And book 1 teaches you this, book 2 teaches you this, and I thought, I got about $200 worth of money invested in these books, and all the information is spread out, over years. So I got rid of all the songs that were in the books, and I just wrote my own. It's called Everything You Need to Know to Play the Piano. So it's all music theory. How to count, what rests are for, accidentals, playing chords, all kinds of things are in here. So any question you could ever have about playing the piano or any other musical instrument, doesn't just apply to piano, is in this book. And this one also has, you can get the DVDs also to go with this. So go to sacramentomusicgroup.com. Our catalog will come up, and you can order these books online and use them with the YouTube videos that we've done in the past and the ones that we'll do in the future. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. We're going to do another 10-minute lesson here in a minute on how to play the chords in 10 minutes.